Hi everyone, I wanted to come on today and just show you some tips and tricks that I have learned through creating October Daily for the last 4 years. And what I usually start out is with the cover page. So I start out with whatever embellishments or whatever collection that I have purchased for that year. So here we have 2016, and then 2017 I think it's American Crafts. There's my cover page, October Daily 2018. And then last year was 2019. Okay, so I free-handed this like crystal ball, I guess you can say. And I just put some confetti that I had. And that was a little addition to what I added to my October, my front cover of October. So while you're waiting for October, you can always start scrapbooking and using the collection by creating a cover page. Tip number 2. For this one here, after October was over, out of my planner, I took my planner sheets out of my October planner and I stuck them in here. So I didn't start off with this, but I ended up putting it in there after, just so I can kind of get an overview of what we did. And then I normally start out, of course, with day 1. So here's my day 1. And you can't really start that. But I usually, if you can see, my day 1 usually starts with my doormat. Here's another tip that I have. I usually write a little something to my family. If I don't put a little intro to my family, I usually do it at the end. And here I had some vellum and I kind of burnt it like with a match, and I just taped it on there. So these little messages, you can put at the front or the end. And I want to say that I kept going with the end here. Let's move on to some other tips and tricks. Another tip I like to do is when my kids take selfies off of their social media, I'll always screenshot it and make sure to include it into my October Daily. Okay, here's another trick that I did. I had this wooden embellishment that I know I wanted to use. And so what I did was I created, I fused the outside of him, and then I created like a space for my sequence to travel. So this is a kind of fun idea that you can pre-make. Okay, so another trick for filling up your October Daily is by creating a 6x8 page. So like this was a wall in my living room, and I wanted to make sure I captured how I decorated that year, because I always try and switch it up. So this one I just blew up to a 6x8. Another tip I have is Simple Stories. Simple Stories has 4x6 pages that you could just plop right into your album. And here's another tip. This is a Halloween mini house kit, and it says chocolate cookie. And this we decorated. It was from Trader Joe's, and I saved the packaging and I made sure to put it on there, which coincided with that purple lollipop. But here's just pictures of them decorating that little house. Here I have the ugliest, cutest haunted house made by my family. So that is kind of neat to be able to, if the packaging is really cute, you can save it to your layout. Another nice way to break up a layout, like if you don't have it, you know, both sides are the same day or or something like that, you can always print on vellum and create like your own divider and separating the days. Because here I had my new glasses, here I had the decorations from my home. So that's a nice way to break up the day as well. Along with just basic filler sheets. Like there's nothing on here, but it's separating from the event here and then going on to a new day. Okay, so here's another page where my daughter posted this on her Instagram, and I just actually screenshot it and printed out huge like this and just hole punched it, reinforced it with the little circles there, and I got to document what she said about her on that day. Another tip I have is you can also screenshot your Instagram story. So this is an ice cube, that's an eyeball. This is our pumpkin pizza that we made. Here we are carving pumpkins, and sometimes it's kind of fun to get action. I mean, it's fun to get posed pictures, but it's also fun to get their expressions and their faces as they're working hard on carving the pumpkins, and of course the pumpkins after they have been made. Okay, so at the end of my October daily, I will have photos left over that I didn't use for whatever the reason is. They just didn't make it, or I printed just too many photos. So I usually keep them, I either create a pocket, or just slip them in these. These are Project Life by Becky Higgins, and they're pretty sturdy, but a simple pocket from scrapbook paper will work as well. Okay, so in 2018, I went crazy with laminating. I'm not sure what I saw or what was going on in my world, but I knew that I loved this little embellishment from Pebbles, I believe it was. And so I just stuck these two embellishments with a cutout web, and I just laminated the whole thing, and I created a divider with this. So this is laminated as well, and I just stuck my number one picture for the day, October 1st, right onto the back side of my laminated cover sheet. So don't forget, use your tools when you are planning or pre-planning October daily. That way, you know, your album has a little bit of texture. Here's the bag trick again, which is my day 3, which I was supposed to journal here, but as you can see, I didn't. And here we are again. This is just a simple Snapchat filter. Okay, here is another laminated little divider. I don't even know if I meant to do this or not, but it's kind of fun, and it's purple, and it goes along with this eyeball. And if you're not big on digital elements, you can always type on, see if there's no glare. You could always type on vellum and then attach it just with a simple staple. And it, you know, you could have fooled me. It looks like I did it on there. Here's another trick with photos. So this photo here was by Simple Stories, and it is a flip up. They sell these individually. So because we had so many photos at the pumpkin patch that I took, I wanted to make sure and document everything. So here's my journal, and I was able to add another photo there. And that way you can add as many photos as you like to your October daily. This here is a pocket that I created that is also tip worthy to note. I created this pocket because I had way too many. These are the photos. I already had 2 pages, so I knew that I needed to create a pocket to keep those extra photos. And so, you know, it's really simple to create these photos. Here is another tip if you don't have a fuse tool. here is a full 6x8 page. I stapled the photo in there, and then I added my my sequence, so that when you would turn the page, the embellishments, the sequence would just fly everywhere. And I just sealed it with washi tape. So if you don't have a fuse, washi tape is your friend. You can definitely seal your pages that way. Another tip is these 2x2 square. You can put whatever or as little as you want. Here I hand sewn my embellishments in the pockets instead of fusing them. Here is another trick here using digital elements. This says Fall Magic, and then it has a little small circle there. It says Autumn Leaves, and this digital is from Paisley Press. So when you're working with digital elements, sometimes you don't even need a lot, because look at how beautiful that looks over a photo. I didn't even have to embellish this. I just wanted his cute little face there. But when you're flipping through it, it looks perfect. Using large photos also is a tip, because you're telling a story by the photo. But for this one, we're still at the pumpkin patch here. I know this probably looks like old scrapbooking to you, but what I did here on this page was I cut out the photo of them at the bottom, did my journaling straight on the back of this photo, and cut the top of the photo up top. And you really can't tell that I did that, so it's almost like faux digital there. Okay, so in this photo here, I wanted to point out to you that I used a die cut for this. So whatever dies you have, just pre-cut them so you have them handy and ready to go. Here, this was a digital element that I just found off of the internet, and I thought it was super cute and it would go with my purple theme here. So I just cut it out and printed it. Here is my grandbaby, who, I don't know, she was 3 at the time. But look at, this was the little page she created, and then I had her mom, my daughter, talk about her in this photo. So don't be afraid to add your children's artwork in these October dailies. Here I received a gift tag. I received a gift from my friend Liz or Linda, I can't remember. But what I did was, it was such a cute tag that I just put it straight into my album. So when you receive happy mail or gifts, save them and put them in your album. Another tip I have from this 2018 album is capture the everyday. Here he is, he fell asleep on the sofa, and I just put haunted house. Shh. So don't be afraid if you have not much going on in your life, or you don't have as much family as I do. Who cares? Add the everyday to your October daily, because this is your story. You're telling a story about your life. In this one here, I wanted to point out that I created a little tag flip here of us enjoying a spooky story before the kids went to bed. My daughter took pictures of me reading to them. And I just punched a hole in the photo and then did my little journaling, and it just stays nice and neatly tucked in there. These are more flip ups because I really enjoyed her little face. But here is the flip up, and it's just her with silly faces from me looking at her in the back seat. So don't be afraid to add extra elements to your album. Here is another page where I did some hidden journaling. So here we were right before we went into my son's it was a parent-teacher conference, and I cut a hole through the photo, and I added this tag in this photo. I didn't do anything. I didn't even cut it like beautifully. It's just a slit in the photo, and it keeps its little pocket in there nice and neatly. So you're still not bulking up your album. It's still a pretty thin page here. Here again, my sweet friend Pallavi, she texted me and told me, oh my God, Snapchat has like the best filter today. And you're right, all these little 2x2, I got everyone to use the filter, and I just stuck it here. Okay, so here is the end of my 2018. We are trick-or-treating. And this year I had purchased some candy corn popcorn from Trader Joe's, and I don't think they're selling it this year. But what I did was I washed the bag really well, and then I hole punched it, and here is where the rest of my photos are. And it's just super cute. Okay, last year's album I pre-prepped. I didn't do much, but I did some cutting with my Cameo, and I made some folders, and I even broke out my sewing machine. So what I did was I created the pocket, and I sewed it here to stay attached, and then I just placed adhesive to make this pocket. Here is a cut file that I used from my Cameo, from the witch. And then my photos, I just cut a slit through it. There's my journaling right behind. So here's my full 6x8 page that I just added a few embellishments. A lot of full pages here. Here's another cutout with my Cameo of a bat. Here is some more hidden journaling. I typed it on vellum and just stuck it between both photos. So this one is a flip up of our dinner, a shaker that my friend Diane made me, and my journaling here at the bottom. This is a cut file of a kitty cat. And here again, I did a flip up with our filters on. This is a cutout from my Cameo. Okay, here is another digital element that I used from my Cameo of the shape of a ghost. Here is another pocket that I created that I just stitched. And then I added my photo. I added another glassine bag of photos that I took on this day. And it's, I'm gonna say, easier when you prep. So all these little cutouts and all these little pockets, they were all prepped. This was prepped. I don't think I would have done it on, you know, a day in October. I mean, you're too busy making memories, right? This little pocket houses another tag flip. These cards I backed with Callie Perky. But if you want to be successful and you, I don't know, work full-time, have children, and are doing your activities, you sometimes can't get to it daily, but you can pre-prep. So what are we, October? I'm sorry, we're still in September. You have time to pre-prep your pages. Here's another page where I, sometimes I don't know which side my photo is gonna go on, so I won't hole punch it, and I'll later use a die set to add my photos to my album. So here we saw the Addams Family movie, and here's our tickets. So I just printed that and added it to our page. Okay, so this is another cut file of a pumpkin. This was me being crazy and adding too many photos, but we're at the pumpkin patch, and I knew I wanted to place all these photos in there. So what I did was I created a flip out, I guess you can say. I hole punched and cut so that this page was easy to get in and out, kind of like a happy planner type of disc-bound thing. And there I was able to get more photos, more larger photos as well. And here I'm just being lazy and I just stapled it. There was no sewing involved, nothing. Here I have some cobwebs, some mummy wrap from Tim Holtz. So definitely don't be afraid to add texture. Here's another digital file of a ghost. And then this is also another flip out of my sister's wedding. So I knew I had a lot of photos, and I mean, you can sew this, you can adhesive it, but I think my main thing was just trying to get these pages done. I probably finished this at the end of October. So that was the simplest thing for me to do. And then I covered up my staples with another photo on the side. And not all your pages have to be 6x8, 3x8. I do a mixture sometimes just to get my photos in there. Here's some more sewing that I did, and that was pre-printed. So, I mean, pre-sewn before October. So it helps if you make some embellishments that way you can just easily have them ready to go. Here is some just documenting on a tag and slipping it right in to your page so that you can have some journaling, some hidden journaling. And then here in the back, I created a folder. And these are the photos that did not make my album, but that I still want to remember, for Halloween. And the kids, and then my friend Shelly sent me a sweet message, some wonderful happy mail. And so I just include that there. So those are my tips and tricks from my past October daily albums. And if you want to know where I got these ideas from, I'm going to tell you right now. I got these tips from ladies doing December Daily. December Daily has been around a super long time, I think more than October Daily. And they're wonderful and they're beautiful. And I also do December Daily. And so what I did was I imagined the items or the things that they would do or that I would do for December Daily. And I just turned it around and said, okay, how could I do the same, but for October? So for instance, in December Daily, you would see a star cut out, a tree cut out, a big, separator, a divider or whatever. So instead, I just used large cutouts of Halloween items. And so that was my inspiration for last year's album, was the ladies over on the December Daily hashtag. So when you are doing October Daily, just think outside the box and have fun with it. Don't stress. Trust me, I stress every end of October because I'm like, oh my God, I don't have my album done, and everybody's posting every day a new photo. No, this is not a competition. We are all crafters. We are all nice. And this is supposed to be a fun project. So always remember that the ladies who create, they create because they love to create. Hi guys, I just wanted to hop on and say thank you so much for watching my super long video. I hope that you are able to use some of the tips and tricks that I showed in my past October dailies. And I also just wanted to let you know you do not have to add so many photos into your project like I do. I do that because I have lots of family. I want to make sure that I get them all in there. If you would like to follow along on Instagram, I share a lot of posts on Instagram stories, and you can find me at Jossie Posie on Instagram. Thanks again. Bye.